So we have 4 employers here today, and we will allow them to speak briefly. But at this time, I would like for my colleagues to introduce themselves, just so that you have a face to actually put with the workforce staff that will be assisting today. And we can start with Brittany.
Welcome, everybody. I'm going to be working the chat with my colleague, Lisa. So if you have questions, you're going to pop them in the Q&A. And I also put in the registration links for both of the job fairs LaMonica has mentioned. I'm on the business unit team, and I'm here to be your vessel between job seeking and employment. So welcome.
Thank you, Brittany. Lisa, it's all you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Lisa Galbraith. I work with the Business Services Unit, and I'll be here to assist however I can today. So we are so excited, as LaMonica mentioned, to have you here. We're excited about the momentum because we really believe that people are starting to get back to work. So we're this month and next month, I believe we'll see a change. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That's a great explanation as far as what we are trying to accomplish, especially with the economy and the country starting to open back up. We just want to serve as that pipeline of connecting job seekers with employers, right, in order to just play our part in getting the economy back to a place of stability. With that being said, I think we can go ahead and get started. The first employer that we have scheduled to speak is Denise Platt, and she is the HR and Recruiter Manager for Life Safety Services, LLC. And Denise, if you could please just tell us a little bit about the position that you have open. And as you are describing the position, if you could be so kind to share the pay, the location, the shift, that is available. We oftentimes see that information listed in our chat, and it'll just kind of help us to get it out beforehand. So Denise, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you so much. So Life Safety Services, we are actually based here in Louisville, Kentucky, and that is where Jordan and I are located. Jordan has joined me. He's the Director of New Construction, so he oversees all of operations for our fire stop technicians, which is the position we're hiring for. So we're looking for maybe 5 to 6 technicians, a foreman, and they would be based in the Fort Worth area. Our technicians usually travel. So if they're outside of 60 miles, then they would just stay the night and work their 10 days there and then go back home for 4 days. So our technicians typically travel, but where they live will depend on how often they're going to be traveling. As far as shifts, are you working all shifts?
Yeah, so we have crews working days and nights, depending on where we're working and where we're allowed to work inside of the healthcare facilities. Some work we can do in the day, some work we can do at nights after they've shut down surgery centers, things like that. So it's an alternating shift as what we'll be working.
Now we have for paid training, typically a good candidate would have a mechanical background, carpenter background, someone that's familiar with blueprints, using a caulk gun, to being okay with heights. Our technicians do require a driver's license, as sometimes they're going to be driving company vehicles or rental cars. The pay starts about what, 17 an hour with no experience, and goes up. And as far as the working environment, so they're going to be working inside facilities, all commercial facilities. We do not do any residential. So there's also new construction. I often suggest to candidates, if you would be happy on an assembly line, you will not like this type of job. because you're constantly on the move. You are doing different things. As Jordan mentioned, sometimes you might be working during the day, and then sometimes you might have to work at night. We have to work around the customer schedule and what they need. But if you like the idea of helping keep people safe, and you like being on the move, and you have the ability to go with the flow, this could be a good opportunity, because we also promote within. I will let Jordan talk a little bit about what a technician can expect, what's a day look like, and then I will touch base on some benefits that comes with the full-time position.
Okay, so a typical day of a technician here at LSS, we are a specialty contractor that goes in existing facilities and new construction job sites to protect their fire-rated walls with a special kind of caulking we put on these walls. So a typical day is a lot of times you work off ladders or lifts every day. Heights, we do a lot of work in high locations. We work off 6-foot ladders, 8-foot ladders, 10-foot ladders, and up to 30-foot lifts. And it's basically, it's not a hard labor job, but it can be very detail oriented. So it's a lot of knowledge you have to learn about what we do. It is driven by code. Your work will be inspected by state and federal inspectors, and it has to pass inspections. So what we do is very important in the life safety industry to prevent or help slow the spread of fire through these facilities. Sometimes you're in tight spaces, working in these heights. You have to get hard to reach places. So you have to be very versatile in what you do, and think on your feet a lot on what is the safe way to do this type of work.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the detail that you have provided. I actually thought of 2 questions that I would like to ask as you guys were just talking about the opportunity. How does the reimbursement work for travel? Well, I should say, is there reimbursement for travel?
So the company takes care of lodging and transportation. So if a company car is not available, then a rental car is provided. If they actually need to fly, the company is going to purchase the flight for them to go. And then we have someone that also takes care of booking their lodging accommodations.
Wow, that's exciting. And the second question that I have is, how long would you say the training would take in order for a person to be fully trained for this opportunity?
That varies based on, so every job you go to, you're not going to see the same thing over and over and over for probably the first 6 to 8 months you're employed with us. Every job is unique in its own way. So you're constantly going to be learning our trade and what we do. But as an overall, be on your own training to where you can go out and do the work on your own. If you have questions, you can always rely on us to answer those. If you run into something you've never seen, you're probably looking at 3 to 4 months of training.
That's exciting. So as I've listened to you describe this opportunity, it sounds like that this is a place of which a candidate could actually come in and expect to grow with the company. Would you say that that's correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions in the chat as it relates to this employer that has just presented for the life safety technician position?
To let you know, with this being a full-time position, the benefits that are included includes a 401k, employer match, paid holidays, PTO, medical, vision, dental. We also have some programs that's like a student leave program. So if you're a parent grandparent, aunt, or uncle. Twice a year, you can go on field trips or go attend a classroom event, and it doesn't count against your PTO time. So you have that as well. And then there's free life insurance, company paid life insurance. So I think I got all the benefits.
And those are some awesome benefits, might I add.
Was there a chat that came up?
Yes.
It does look like there's a couple chats. Do you see them, Monica? Just hours in a typical week. And do you guys have regularly scheduled days off?
So the hours in a typical week vary. We always get 40 hours a week. There is some overtime available depending on the job and what we have going on. We're very flexible. Our set days off, we like the 10-day on, 4-day off rotation. However, if our customer needs us for an extra few days, it's better off for us to keep that technician there for 2 days than to send them home for 4 and then back for 2. So we really have to be flexible and adapt to what our customer needs are. So we like to stick to a schedule, but there are times that we have to vary from that.
I should also let you know, we're a second chance employer. So while we do background checks because we're going into these facilities, we look at each one on a case by case.
Thank you so much. So I think that actually takes care of the chat. The next person, then thank you so much for the information that you have shared regarding the opportunity that is open. It's my hope that you guys are able to get some traffic your way to get those opportunities filled. So job seekers, as you're tuned in, make sure that you look at these opportunities that are available. The next employee that we have up to speak is Tracy Medina, and she is the case manager with Community Learning Center. And Tracy, I will just allow you to speak a little bit about the opportunity that you have. And if you could please just mention the pay if you have it, the location, as well as the shift. Tracy, I'll let you speak at this time.
Thank you. We have an opening for a construction coordinator position that is in our veterans department. Community Learning Center is a nonprofit career school. And we have a lot of grants to help our veterans. One of our courses is aerospace assembly, as far as also welding, machining, and forklift. And we do give preferential positions or slots to veterans. So for this position of construction coordinator, typically, it's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. currently. And we're looking for someone who has experience, in construction, contacting vendors, getting quotes on the repairs that need to be done. So this grant covers home modifications or repairs for veterans. And so that's what the construction coordinator will be coordinating to get those modifications done in their homes. Okay. So schedule, pay, I think that would, it would depend on experience and once, they're here interviewing with our executive director.
Okay, and so I have a question. I have actually a couple of questions for you. With you mentioning that this opportunity is a grant-funded opportunity, would it be temporary for the job seeker, or would it be a full-time opportunity?
It's a full-time opportunity. This grant is renewed annually.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. If you could talk a little bit about the perks and the benefits as it relates.
Yes, so we are part of a union, So there is a pension that our president pays into daily. So that is definitely a benefit that you can't find, in a lot of companies. So we do have a pension. We're part of the union, if they choose to be. The medical insurance is really great. He pays for the individual. And it's a little bit more, of course, for family, but it is very great medical insurance. There is a 401k option. Okay.
Thank you so much. If you could also describe some of the common challenges that have presented with this role.
Common challenges. Well, there is travel, and there is travel reimbursement. Maybe someone who doesn't like to travel a lot, that could be a challenge for them or a barrier. But it does serve several counties. I'm not sure how far they would be traveling, just depending on the county where the veteran lives.
That is great information to have, especially for someone that is seeking employment. Travel is definitely important detail that they should have. The next question that I have for you is, how would you describe a successful candidate for this role?
Okay, so we are looking for someone who has experience in construction, somebody who can look for bids, support, of course, the pricing on the work that's going to be done in the veteran's home. Someone who is a team player, someone who has computer skills. They don't necessarily have to be bilingual, but if they do know a second language, that would be a good also.
Thank you so much. Also, I would like to ask you, with giving the duties that the job seeker would be responsible for, could you describe a little bit as to how what the training would look like?
Training for this position?
For the role, yes.
Currently, the person who is leaving the role, I'm not sure how long he will be here, but someone in the Veterans Department will handle that training.
Okay, thank you so much. Brittany, do we have any questions in chat?
Are there any certifications or education requirements needed for this position?
I mean, it helps if they have a degree. It's not necessarily a requirement. We're looking for someone who has experience in construction.
Perfect. That was all that I'm seeing on my end.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for sharing that information with us. It's our hope that we are able to drive some traffic your way to get that opportunity filled. Again, for the job seekers that have tuned in, Tracy just discussed an opportunity for a construction coordinator. And that information, the job detail information, is listed in the chat as to how to apply for the opportunity.
And you can actually send a resume to rketo@clcinc.org.
Okay, we'll list that information in the chat. Thank you so much, Tracy. So to answer that question, can you apply for this opportunity and work in Texas? Yes, you can. The job posting number is actually posted in chat. The next person the next employee that we have up to speak is Mary Mouton, which is the director of N.O.W University, hiring for champions. And I'll let her speak a little bit about the opportunity that she has available. If you could be so kind, Mary, to talk a little bit about the pay for the position, the location, as well as the shift. And I'll let you take it away at this point, Mary.
Okay, good morning. Thank you guys for joining us today. Just know I have been in your position before, so it's nothing new. I've been on both sides of it, so I totally understand, you know, your choice in choosing and why you choose it. We're called Mouton University, and I hate to call it a daycare center because we expect so much more out of the children, which we call champions. We're located in Crowley, Texas. We've been going since, it's been 5 years actually, because I started off at home and then we just recently got to the center. We are looking for cultivators. And the reason why we call them cultivators and not daycare teachers is because what we do is cultivate the mind of young learners. So we want to make sure that when you come in, you have not only the passion for children, but the passion to see them grow. When it comes to pay, we look at, okay, if you have experience, because believe it or not, as I shared with Miss Brittany, you can have somebody with no experience that have a passion and a love for children. And you see someone 15 years in and, oh God, I hate kids. When the buzzer rings, they holding out the chair like, oh, here we go. And so pay is basically based on your passion. If I see you in the classroom and you're teaching and the children love you and they see you and making your way to start, I know for a fact you are invested into it. And you have to remember, parents are our investors. So it's not like a regular daycare per se, because I really want you to engage with them. So if there are seeds, we become cultivators. Pay, not only pay, but I wanted to talk about the background checks. We have background checks that have to be done per licensing, and we also have to do fingerprinting. Now those I give back or reimburse you after 3 months of employment. Then you also must have CPR that is current. That's also a state mandate that you have to have per licensing.
Mary, sorry to interrupt, but I can't hear you. Your volume is really low.
Okay.
Or your audio seems to be cutting in and out some.
Okay.
Is that better? Let's see. It's in. Okay, is that better?
Yes, and just for the sake of communication, if you don't mind, Mary, repeating some of that information that you just mentioned, I just want to make sure that we're all able to get it, you know, get the information at the same time.
Okay, of course. So what we have to do is make sure you have a fingerprint done if you've not had it in the past 5 years. You also have to do the background check. The background check I do cover. The fingerprint you cover, and I reimburse you after 90 days. And then you also have to make sure your CPR is current. If you don't have it, I'll give you some time to get it, at least in the first 30 days. Then the next, of course, we can't offer a whole lot of benefits, but I do give you your birthday off with pay. So once you've been here with us a year, I do give your birthday off with pay. The other incentives we have, believe it or not, we've changed our hours, so now we're only 7 to 5:30. It also gives parents a break. It also gives you guys a break.
Thank you so much. We weren't able to get the last part of what you said, but I just want to repeat what I heard just to ensure that we have that information correct. You're saying that once the employee has been there for a year, then you will give them their birthday off. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's the last part that I was able to hear. Did I miss any other things that you mentioned?
I don't think so. All I covered was the background checks and fingerprints that had to be done, and having your CPR. As far as experience, if you don't have any experience, then we do pre-service training. And then if you have experience, then we kind of, put you into the classroom and show you around for 2 weeks, and then it's lift off.
Thank you so much for that information. Go ahead, Brittany.
Sorry, LaMonica. Okay, so we got a couple questions in the chat. So can you specify if you provide any benefits? The question was specifically on the medical.
Oh, no extra benefits, or because we just moved in this center in March. So we're gradually working on not only, because we can't welcome more children in without enough staff, because it goes by ratios in childcare. So once we get it established and get a solid footing, we'll be able to start, integrating benefits. But now it's only the birthday, where after you've been with us a year, you get your birthday off with pay.
Okay, and then we have a question about pay for the cultivator, and is there any discounted childcare for the employees?
It is discounted childcare for the employees where it's 50% off. And if you decide to keep us as a part-time employer, then it's at 75% off of whatever your child's age is based on the fees. And then pay, like I said, once we get established, right now we're starting off at 8. I don't want to discourage anybody because I understand the cost of living is high. But at the same time, once we get at full capacity, we are able to go ahead and get started with the fuller or the better pay, I should say. And I'll make it worth your while as long as you take care of my babies. That's all I ask.
Thank you so much for that added detail. I think that actually takes care of the chat. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing that exciting detail. You know, being a person to actually impart into the lives of our young adults are definitely, it's needed, it's important. And those people definitely have to have a passion for children. So again, it's our hope that you are able to get the traffic driven your way to get those opportunities filled. Thank you so much, Mary. The next employer that we have is Yolanda Young, who is the air ramp specialist for DFW. I'm sorry, for UPS Dallas-Fort Worth locations. And I will let you take it away, Yolanda. And if you could just talk a little bit about the position that you have, the pay, and the location, please.
Certainly. Thank you guys for having me. Also, I wanted to ask, is it okay if I share my screen? I have a PowerPoint. It's very brief. Is that okay with you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay, just give me a moment here and I'll pull it up, okay? And then we'll get started.
Yolanda, you should have the capability now. If you don't, let us know.
Okay. Okay, great. Can everyone see the screen now? Should have a pilot, female pilot on there.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, again, my name is Yolanda Young and I'm an air ramp specialist here at UPS DFW Airport. So basically what I'm going to do real briefly, I'm going to talk about the positions we have available here at UPS DFW Airport and just give you, before I do that, give you some brief information about the company. All right, let's see here. Okay, so we're currently hiring permanent part-time positions here at the airport. Let me just minimize that so I can see. There we go. Okay, just brief information about the company. Most people have heard about UPS. We are the largest package delivery company in the world. We're a global company. Last year, during the pandemic, we delivered about 6.3 billion packages. And that the pandemic caused a surge in our revenue growth, of course. And so what we're doing now is we're trying to hire people to meet that growth. We serve every address in North America and Europe, and we serve over 220 companies worldwide. Our total revenue last year was about $84 billion. Okay, so you may be asking, why work for UPS? We are an established, innovative, and dynamic company. We're 113 years old. We were born out of Seattle, Washington. Our founder is Jim Casey. We are innovative. Since we went public, our stock we've always declared a dividend. So we're a strong company, we're an innovative company, and we're a dynamic company. We are certainly managing, delivering medical supplies and vaccines during the pandemic. The major reason is that there is plenty of growth potential within the company. At least 60% of our presidents, vice president, and district managers started out as package handlers, the positions that I'm actually trying to fill right now. 90% of our hub managers and our full-time supervisors started out the same. I actually started out in the same position. I've only been with the company 3 years, but I changed careers, and I started out as a package handler, loading and unloading boxes. The company has very competitive pay and benefits. The pay at DFW Airport it ranges from $15.50 an hour up to $19 an hour, depending on which shift you select. The benefits are very competitive. We are one of few companies who offer benefits to our permanent part-timers. We offer full medical, dental, and vision benefits after 9 months. Tuition reimbursement is available immediately upon hire. You just need to allow 2 weeks to get you into the system. We also offer numerous employee discounts. We have over 500,000 employees, so that's a huge market base. So many companies offer discounts to UPSers. After a year, you will be able to take some paid vacation and time off. We have various shifts available throughout here at the airport. And again, just excellent benefits for part-time employees. Now, these positions, they are warehouse positions, so you will be loading and unloading packages. We require that you be willing and able to work in a non-climate controlled environment, okay? You have to pass a background airport security clearance. That means you have to go through fingerprinting and a background check. Of course, we pay for that, but that is one of the things that's going to be required working at the airport. That's because of transportation security guidelines. All right. Let's see what else I want to talk about. Mainly what I wanted to go over, we have an automated hiring process here at UPS. We changed our process. It's automated. So basically, I just kind of wanted to briefly go through the slides. If you're interested in applying for a position here at UPS, I kind of wanted to go over that. You can do it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever you like. But basically, I just wanted to give you the website. So you would go to upsjobs.com, and here on the screen, I can't see mine. Okay, so you would see where the upsjobs.com is. You'll get this screen. All right, so once you go to the upsjobs.com, in order to get to the jobs at DFW Airport, under keyword here, if you would type in package handler, and location, if you would type in Grapevine, Texas, and then you would click in search. Okay, that's to get you to the positions here at the airport, because those are going to be the only positions that are going to pay up to $19 an hour. So once you do that, you will see warehouse package handler, and you would just simply click on that link right there, because the address is 1683 West 19th Street. Okay, so you would click on that link. And then they will ask you to create a job online. You would basically just sign up, and you would just type in an email, create a password. Once you sign up, they will show you the various shifts available. I know we're restricted on time, so I won't go over them, but we do have various shifts available. The pay, it says up to $19 an hour. The $19 an hour is for our night hub and our night ramp shifts, okay? The starting pay is $15.50 an hour, okay? But basically, once you sign up and you complete the application, it says apply now, so you click that apply now once you create your password. You would go in, and they're going to ask you some information about your work history. They're going to ask you some security questions at the airport that are required for airport background check. And then they're going to ask you to complete some online games. So once you complete the application and you complete the online games, if you're invited to move forward, immediately they will ask you to schedule a time for fingerprinting and your background check, okay? Once you schedule your fingerprinting and your background check, we just need for you to bring 2 forms of valid government ID, okay? And that's all part of the hiring process. So once you apply, you complete the online games, you complete the fingerprinting and the background check. Then a recruiter will get back with you regarding orientation, okay? Our training it's a week and it's paid. All of our training is paid training, all right? So basically, after the recruiter contacts you, and then you guys discuss orientation, then at that point that will be considered a welcome call, and they will actually schedule you for a time to come in and be hired. So that's basically the application process in a nutshell. Let me go back here. I just want to stop. I know I went through that very quickly, so I'll see if anyone has any questions.
I have a couple in the chat. So whenever you say part-time, is it 30 hours, 24? What is your part-time considered? Do you have shifts that work weekends? And when do your benefits start?
Okay, so part-time, it's permanent part-time. Part-time hours normally are between 15 to 20 hours a week. Again, the shifts, we don't have weekend-only shifts. All the shifts vary, but we do have shifts where you're required to work on weekends. The only shift where there's no weekend work, I believe, is our twilight shift, and that goes from 6:30 p.m. to like 10:30 p.m. or roughly 4 to 10:30 roughly. But the average hours are between 15 and 20. And again, the shifts vary. And once you go online, then they will let you select the different shifts. And you ask about, did you say the pay? I'm sorry, I didn't.
When do benefits start?
Oh, the benefits start after 9 months. So full medical and dental vision benefits starts after 9 months. Tuition reimbursement is available, again, immediately upon hire. After a year, you're eligible for some paid leave based on the number of hours a week you work.
Are there opportunities to become full-time? And I'm also seeing inquiries about administrative and accounting positions. I would just assume that you would suggest a different location, not the airport, but that's something that you should share.
Yes, good question. So what I'm hiring for is our hub operations. And regarding the administrative, you would have to go on upsjobs.com and see if they have any external positions available for the administrative portion of it. Regarding going full-time, when you work out there in the hub, that's what they call a union environment. Basically, all those positions out there for loading and unloading the part-time positions are part-time. But if you want to apply for a full-time position after 30 days when you've worked for the company, if they have some available full-time positions, you can apply for those. But if it's in operations, you have to sign a bid list, which is basically they do it based on seniority. Again, it's not saying that the people who've been here long are going to get the job necessarily, but in a union environment, they get first consideration. So yes, there are opportunities in operations to go full-time. There's also opportunities for part-time management, which is non-union, and full-time non-union management. Again, that's posted on our internal job sites.
And then is there a minimum weight requirement for the packages? And then I'm assuming that you have this in your job listings, but do you require high school diploma or equivalent?
I believe you have to be 18 years, as far as the education for these jobs, they're entry-level positions, you simply just have to be 18 years old to apply for the jobs here at the airport. You will be lifting packages up to 70 pounds. You could be lifting packages up to 70 pounds, and we do provide training on that.
That's perfect. I think that wraps up my chat.
Absolutely. This has been an exciting session. I want to thank you, Yolanda, for the extensive detail that you provided. I find that the more detail you offer to the job seekers, it just lends a better return, because it's always so many questions that surround job opportunities. So when you're able to give the information in a setting like this, it's always helpful. I want to thank each of you for coming on today, because I know that you took time from your day. I would just like to recap some of the positions that were discussed and just kind of reiterate where you can apply for them at. The first position that was discussed was for life safety services. And that position was for a safety technician. That job detail and information as to how to apply is listed in chat. There was also a position listed with Community Learning Center, and they are hiring for a construction coordinator. You will also find that detail in chat as to how to apply. Now University is looking to hire teachers. That information is listed in chat. And of course, last but not least, our last presenter was Yolanda with UPS for the DFW locations. And of course, they are hiring for package handlers. There are some other opportunities of which she mentioned, and you would be able to see them actually listed on their site. Well, I would just like to say, again, thank each of you for taking the time to connect with us as we serve to just make that connection with job seekers and employers. And again, it's our goal that each of you are able to get the traffic, driven your way to get your opportunities filled in. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next time.